Allergies, carnivore, and vitamin C. Let's break that down. What's shaking bacon? My name's Bruno Panucci. I hope you're doing really well. So I've been doing this carnivore way of eating on and off since 2018. I was extremely low carb on and off since 2013. And in that time frame, I've lost about 150 pounds. Now, I've done carnivore religiously every spring when my allergies kick in. We're going to get into that in a little bit, talk about how much that helped. But right now, we're going to give a little bit of an update about my weight loss challenge and my fitness challenge. So as a few of you know, I went from 4 pounds of lean ground beef down to 3 pounds of regular ground beef a day. So I've checked on the scale. I've seemed to have lost about 10 pounds really fast after I switched down to 3 pounds, but I'm balancing out around 326, 327. So it seems to be going slow. Now I do know that 5 pounds of that is lean mass because I did a body scan to tell that. And it was a medical grade body scan and it was called the BOD pod. So it's pretty interesting stuff. And I'm going to get into that in a future video. So I seem to plateau around this weight. Now, what's interesting about this weight is I always plateau on the way up and the way down, right around the 320 mark, 315 to 325. So there's clearly something going on, probably more a hormone thing than anything, but I like to ride it out. I'm not too concerned about it because the weight loss, though that's one of the goals, isn't the main goal. My main goal is trying to put on lean mass. So I'm not going to end my challenge with doing nothing like I did before and just going back to regular carnivore. I did that from September to January, but what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to end each challenge I do from now on with a different fitness challenge because I want to maintain and build lean muscle. And if I just stop a fitness challenge, what's happening is I just go right back to my regular lean mass that I had going into the fitness challenge. So for some reason, my body doesn't want to maintain muscle too well. So I'm thinking of a few different hormones, in particular, probably growth hormone. That's got something to do with that, but I'm going to do more research, more leg work, and I'm going to start getting some blood work done to figure out what the heck is going on. But aside from that, in the process of doing my exercising, I've come down with Patella femoral syndrome. So before we get into vitamin C and allergies and carnivore, I'm just going to give a bit of an update. So Patella femoral syndrome is a knee problem people get when the outside of their thigh is a little too strong for the muscles on the inside of their thigh. So the two muscles in particular are the vastus lateralis, and that's the one on the outside of your thigh. Now it balances with one of the inner muscles on the inner knee. So if you put your hands on your knees and bring them in a little bit, you'll feel a bulge, and that's your vastus medialis. So the reason why I'm explaining this is there's just an imbalance between the two, and what happens is it makes the kneecap track improperly. The kneecap, when you extend the knee, is supposed to go up and lateral. But what happens is when you have a muscular imbalance where the upper outside of your quads, the vastus lateralis, is too strong, it tracks the kneecap up and out a little too far. So I've noticed in over 21 years of practice as a registered massage therapist that whenever people have knee problems and we've ruled out arthritis and we've ruled out any traumatic onset like a fall or an injury from sports or just anything like that, and they have knee pain, it's often on the inner side. And what I've often found, probably 90% of the time, people come in with knee pain, it's patella femoral syndrome. So that's also called chondromalacia, and what happens is the kneecap just tracks improperly. So what I have to do, and this really sucks, is I have to do really deep massage to that lateralis muscle. So the top outside of my thigh, I have to administer really deep massage. It's really painful. It's easier when you have someone else doing that type of massage. It's a lot tougher to cause pain to yourself and work through it. But like a champ, I'm doing it. And what happens is I have to strengthen the inside of my knees. And the way that medialis works is it only kicks in the last 10 to 15 degrees of range of motion. So when you're straightening your leg, that muscle only has one job, is to get your knee from here to here, here to here. That's it. Just that last little bit. That muscle gets weak because it really doesn't always get used. So a couple of weeks ago, I was doing a leg workout and I had to use a different leg extension machine. I'm a big fan of the leg extension machine. I've always liked it. Well, the knee mainly has one function, and it's to straighten and flex. That's it. It does turn a little bit. It deviates just a little bit in and out, but for the most part, its main job, probably 95% of its job, is straightening the leg and bending the leg. It's pretty straightforward. All I have to do is strengthen that muscle. Now, it's tough to strengthen just that muscle without strengthening the rest of it. So when I do my knee extension exercises, from this point on, I have to do it like this. I'm sitting in the machine and I straighten my leg, and then I bring it down a little bit and bring it back up. And all the way back down, that's one set. So every time I do this knee extension machine, I have to go down and up a little bit. So runners often get this. And it was actually quite painful. And my range of motion in my quads, in my knee flexion, is really tight. It's like I have a thick piece of saran wrap holding my knees from bending too far. Now, I've never had this before, but I've treated it hundreds of times through the years. Now, it's a really simple fix, and it's sort of an easy fix, but it's a painful massage. It's one of the few massages I'll always say to my clients, look, you should never have too deep of a massage, but this is the exception. I have to really beat up that muscle on the outside of your thigh. It's not going to be fun, but you'll notice immediate relief. And almost all the time, they do. So I'm dealing with this knee pain. It's pretty cool though. It's not stopping me from doing any squats or anything like that. So I can still do some good compound movements, but I'm not doing any leg press right now because I am worried, just because when you have the kneecap tracking improperly, you don't want to put a heavy load of hundreds of pounds. I usually do sets of about 7 plates a side. So I'm doing about 14 plates when I do a leg press. Now I know people can do a lot more than that, but that's a pretty decent amount of weight nonetheless. It works out to be about 600 pounds. And I'm doing that in sets. So I'm doing like 14, 15 each set I do. So the reps are pretty decent and they're pretty high. So I took a week off of that. But that's what's going on with me. The carnivore and lion diet are going extremely well. I'm really happy doing that. 3 pounds a day seems to work pretty well for me right now, so I'm glad. I used to be at 6 pounds of meat a day. So this is nice that I've been able to cut back. It seems to have worked really well. One of the things I've also been dealing with is my allergies. So this is my allergy season, and I do carnivore every year during my allergy season. So I've been doing carnivore strict for 1.5 years now, but before that I would do it intermittently. And I always make sure to do it in the spring because I'm allergic to the dandelions. I start getting a lot of itching in my throat and itching in my eyes. And I've had these allergies since I was 18 years old. I think it first started from exposure to mold when I was 18 years old. But that's how long I've had allergies. I had no idea what was happening to me at the time. All I remember was in my friend's basement. I'm pretty sure it was this mold exposure. And I might just remember my eyes got really burning itchy and my throat was really itchy and I went into sneezing fits. And I had no idea what was happening to me. I had to go outside, everything cleared up. And ever since that happened, I've been allergic to cats and I've been allergic to dandelions. I noticed going on a low-carb diet has helped. Now, I also started taking a product called Adrenomend on and off for the last few years. And what that's done is it's shrunken my allergy window down from about 4 to 6 weeks down to about 3 weeks and then 2 weeks. And then lately, the last couple of years, it's been about 7 to 10 days. So I have my allergies for 7 to 10 days. It's not quite as bad. I would say it would never get worse than about 80, maybe 75% as bad as it used to, because my allergies were really extreme. And I would go into horrible sneezing fits and my eyes were burning all the time. So what I used to do for them when I was in my early 20s was I would take an allergy medication, not a doctor prescribed allergy medication, but an allergy medication just over the counter. It's called Reactin or Claritin. Well, I noticed I had to start taking stronger and stronger doses of that medication because I was building up a tolerance to it. And I was thinking, oh man, where's this going to go? Eventually, this isn't going to work too well for me. And I happen to be working in a naturopathic clinic. I know I've talked about vitamin C in other videos, but this is a very timely topic right now because this is the beginning of allergy seasons for a lot of people out there, and it's coming up over the summer and then the fall. So this is something that can be applied to any of you dealing with allergies. So vitamin C is interesting. The naturopathic doctor I worked with told me you have to take it to your bowel tolerance. So I remember learning in college, vitamin C only stays in your system for 2 or 3 hours. So when people say, oh yeah, I get vitamin C every day. Well, you know what? How much do you take? Well, I take 2 pills in the morning. And they think they've got it handled, or it's mixed in there with their multivitamin and they're probably getting 100 or 200 milligrams. And this is how it works with vitamin C. If you get diarrhea, you back off a pill. So you'd have to take it to your bowel tolerance, meaning that when you get diarrhea, you back off. So if you take 1,000 milligrams and you don't get diarrhea, then you go up to 2,000 milligrams. If that doesn't bother you, then you go up to 3,000 milligrams. Say you get diarrhea at 3,000 milligrams. Well, you back down to 2,000, and 2,000 is your dosage, and that's what your body can handle. So if you take that at 8 o'clock in the morning, by late morning, it's like it wasn't even in your system. So you want to try and take vitamin C every few hours. Now, there's lots of benefits to vitamin C. It keeps the arterial walls nice and soft. It's an antioxidant, and it's also, more importantly in this case, an antihistamine. It's great when you're also sick too. You can take vitamin C for a cold in the same way. So taking vitamin C, like I said, to your bowel tolerance should be done multiple times a day. And when I have my allergies active, I know exactly when I need to take it because my symptoms come back. So I've had something really interesting happen this year. So I've been doing vitamin C for almost 20 years now to manage my allergies. It's a lot more work than an allergy pill, because an allergy pill, I just have to take it once a day and I'm good for the whole day. Now, it does dry my eyes out and it suppresses the immune system. But vitamin C supports the immune system and it supports the adrenal gland. So it also helps with adrenal fatigue. I've been taking a product called Adrenal Mend on and off for the last few years, and that seems to help my allergies. Now, that seems to have shortened the window of my allergies, and Carnivore seems to help that as well. I think the Adrenal Mend is what's really made the big difference. Lots of people who do Carnivore say that their allergies go away. That hasn't been my experience yet. I think my body still has a lot of healing to do. Now, it has helped with my allergies. My allergies used to be an issue between 4 and 6 weeks years ago for probably about 20 years. And for the last few years, it's probably gotten down to about 7 to 10 days. And this year, my allergies have been bothering me for a week now. And I always found I had to take, get this, 10 grams of vitamin C a day. I would have to take 8,000 milligrams at a time during my allergy season, because when you get a cold or you have allergies, your tolerance goes up. So instead of handling 3,000 milligrams at a time, which was my bowel tolerance, I had to bump up to 8,000 milligrams at a time. And I'd probably have to take that every 2 hours while I was awake. Sometimes I could stretch it to 3, but usually about 2 hours. So I was taking so much vitamin C through the day, and I would do that all through my allergy season. I would go through 2 big containers of vitamin C in that time frame. Now that I have a shorter window of time that my allergies bother me, I just go through 1 container of vitamin C. And this year, I don't need to take that vitamin C all the time. I've been very focused about taking that Adrenal Mend product. I just got it at my local health food store, and it seems to have had a big impact on my allergies. I honestly don't think it was as much Carnivore yet. I just don't think I'm at that point where my body's healed enough. I have a lot of healing left to do in my body. I've been overweight for a long time, and I'm still overweight. My allergies are one of the first things to come on when I started getting unhealthy, and I think it's probably the way it's going. It might be one of the last things to heal. But this Adrenal Mend has made a huge difference. But now I only have to take my vitamin C maybe 3 times a day. So instead of taking 8,000 milligrams 10 to 12 times a day, sometimes more than that, now I only have to take it 2, maybe 3 times a day. I still get some watery eyes every now and then. I'll still sneeze every now and then, but if I just blow my nose, it gets rid of my symptoms and I'm good for another while. So I would only take vitamin C whenever my allergies would get really extreme and I go into sneezing fits and my eyes would start burning and my throat would get horribly itchy. Anytime I had any reaction with my allergies, it was everything all at once: extremely burning eyes and extremely itchy throat, tons of sneezing. I'd go into sneezing fits where I just sneeze 10, 15 times in a row. And I've just gotten to this point where that barely happens anymore. Typically, I just go into sneezing fits. My eyes rarely get itchy anymore. So the vitamin C helps manage my allergies when I have to deal with them. The Adrenal Mend seems to have shortened my window of time that I have my allergy season, and it's also gotten to the point where I don't have to take as much vitamin C. Now, you can go on lots of Facebook groups and also onto Rivero.com and find lots of people whose allergies have cleared up just from going on Carnivore. One of the things you often hear about when people are doing Carnivore is vitamin C and how you don't need vitamin C, or at least the same amounts of vitamin C. And for the large part, you don't, because the reason why we have I think it's 60 milligrams a day we're supposed to get of vitamin C is because I think it's about 35 milligrams or so to prevent scurvy. So they want to make sure that we have at least that much in a day. But there's people who've been carnivore for 15, 20, 25 years and they still don't have it. Your tolerance seems to change when you don't have carbohydrates in your body. You seem to get a different nutritional profile with what your body requires to fight off certain problems. But me personally, I have allergies, and when I get sick, I'll still take a lot of vitamin C. Carnivore or not, if I need to take a pain pill for some reason, say a muscle relaxant as an example, or an anti-inflammatory, I would definitely take that. Just because we don't need as much vitamin C doesn't mean it's not beneficial for us. So I'm a big believer in taking vitamin C to my bowel tolerance as often as I need it. And when it's my allergy season, I know exactly when I need it. So typically the rest of the year, I'm really more relaxed about vitamin C and taking it regularly. I used to be really strict about it for probably about 10 years straight. Now, there are people out there who like to quote this one study that was done that vitamin C turns into oxalates in the body and causes kidney stones. Now, that was one isolated study, and I talked to the naturopathic doctor about that specific topic, and he said further studies showed vitamin C released the pre-existing kidney stones. So I'm a big fan of vitamin C. It's one of those vitamins, it's water soluble, it has all these benefits and very few side effects. The main side effect is diarrhea. So you'll know when you're getting too much, and that's when you back off. Simple as that. Don't forget that. Now, a couple other side effects you do get from vitamin C. When you take high dose vitamin C and then you stop taking vitamin C, your absorption of vitamin C is sort of all over the place for a short while afterwards until it balances out again. And vitamin C can bother your stomach. So some people have to take a buffered vitamin C. Vitamin C absorbs in the upper intestine. When you take a buffered vitamin C, it just helps a little bit with your stomach. So that's a once over on vitamin C. People who do carnivore, typically their allergies eventually go away. I still have mine, so I'm taking my vitamin C. So I have no problems taking vitamin C, and you shouldn't have any problems if you want to try vitamin C. Just because we don't need as much day to day doesn't mean it won't benefit our body. So research vitamin C a little bit further, and if you think it's something that can help you through your allergies, taking it the way I was told to take it, let me know in the comments. Thanks for tuning into this video. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. I hope you enjoyed it. Take care.